You're listening to The Illustrious Gentleman, a podcast hosted by two comic book professionals who get together to talk about comics, work, beer, and life. Scott Godleski is currently working on Superman for DC Comics. I'm Ryan Cody, and I'm coloring Family Tree at Image Comics. Go to tigshow.com for all your Tigshow needs, including links on where to follow us on social media, how to support the show by being a patron or just buying us around, and how to get some merch. It's all at tigshow.com. Thank Her Majesty, Lord God Jesus, that you're back. I was drowning the last month.
Yes. Her
Ooh.
Majesty, Jesus Christ.
Yes. I think I just heard a plane overhead. This is exciting. Before we get too much...
freeway's like right there.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll hear an accident.
Ooh.
Before we get too...
Free production value.
Before we get too much into it, are you interested, Scott, in a graphic novel about lucha libre action design with like a Kirby aesthetic? Does that sound fun to you?
Do you even have to ask?
Yeah. I think your water heater just turned on or something. Now, so there's La Mano del Destino, collects all 6 issues coming out through Top Cow and Image on May 19th by our buddy Jay Gonzo, written, created, illustrated by Jay. Like I said, it's in stores May 19th, all six issues. I think it's close to 200 pages, something like that, something ridiculous. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
But you got to try to get your order in before April 19th. So, you can go to like your comic book store. They got this thing called final order cutoff. So they want to get all their orders in a month before the book comes out. So what you need to do, Scott, is you need to get your ass in your car. You need to drive over to a comic book shop or call them if you have
I'm going to go right now.
If you have a phone, you can call them too and tell them you want to order La Mano del Destino, the trade paperback. Order code is MAR 210103. That's MAR 210103.
I feel like we need a jingle for it.
From Top Cow and Image Comics. Gonzo's a great guy. It's a great book. Order it. Sleep with it if you want. Order 2 copies, one to read, and then one to just like
fuck.
Yeah, that's right. It also it'll stick around and cuddle afterwards too, because it's got no legs. It's not getting up and going anywhere. You could do whatever you want to that book once you pay for it.
I think this book has got legs. It'll be around.
All right, to celebrate National Beer Day. I wrote I copied and I didn't write anything. I copied and pasted a thing here. Do you want me to tell you about National Beer Day?
Like the origins of National Beer Day?
Yeah, I actually read this to you already at one point today, but not on
I wasn't listening.
Recording. National Beer Day is celebrated in the United States every year on April 7th. That's today. Marking the day that the Cullen-Harrison Act was enacted after having been signed into law by President Franklin D. Roosevelt on March 22nd, 1933. Upon signing the legislation, Roosevelt made his famous remark, "I think this would be a good time for a beer." The law went into effect on April 7th of that year in states that had enacted their own law allowing such sales. The beer could contain up to 3.2% alcohol compared to the 0.5% limit of the Volstead Act. Should be 0.05% limit of the 0.5% limit of the Volstead Act.
Wait, there was the Volstead Act said you could have an alcoholic beverage, but it has to top out at 0.5%.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So this didn't end prohibition. This just upped the amount to 3.2% because as they are correctly assumed, no one can get drunk on 3.2% beer or near beer, if you will. I mean, I would literally have to drink. I think I would have to drink like 20 of those in the span of like 4 hours to get like a buzz on.
Like 4 hours?
Yeah.
You did throw back 20 of those in like 40 minutes.
Well, only if I was prepping to run a marathon, because it's important to hydrate. All right. So what are you drinking on National Beer Day?
I bought another big thing of Voodoo Ranger variety stuff. And in this one, there was the Juicifer IPA. Like all of them, it's a 7.7. And like all of them, it kind of tastes the same. So, which is good. I don't know. Maybe it is the same. But I have a stupid tongue. My palate is severely underdeveloped. So this may just be a marketing thing. I mean, they could just put the same shit in different cans and nobody knows. Idiots like me, suburban hipster fucks, just go, oh, I prefer juice for over Captain Dynamite. It's like not knowing it's the same shit.
Yeah, those brewers are just laughing their ass off at you, you suburban types,
All the way to the bank.
all the way to the bank. And the can art has Aquaman's trident, an actual trident,
It's true.
going into a
Hashtag
hop.
Snyder cut.
Yeah, going into a bleeding hop.
He is an alcoholic. The DCEU Aquaman.
Oh, that's right. I thought you meant Zack Snyder. I thought you had a story.
Oh
for
no,
him.
no,
Oh.
he seems like a fine man.
Sure.
No, every chance he gets, Aquaman throws back a bottle of Jack and smashes it on the rocks before being enveloped by slow motion waves.
Yeah, and he bitches about how the humans
The
are
cologne commercial.
the humans are fucking up his seas, and then he just straight up litters, puts broken glass into the sea. Fish and enemies and other sea dwelling creatures are going to eat that glass and die.
That's the human half of him.
Oh, I get
He
it.
just throws the plastic soda 6-pack things into the ocean.
Yeah, yeah. Then he'll take a shit overboard off the
But when
off
he's
the
down
boat.
there, he's like, "Fuck humans."
Yeah, he shits in the water, but then cleans it up afterwards because he feels bad.
He's torn. It's Aquaman's inner conflict.
Yeah, that's yes. I'm already tired of that talk. I'm drinking a Mother Road Brewing Company's Conserve and Protect Golden Ale. It's got like an old Bronco with some antelopes on it.
Serve and protect, huh?
Yeah, and it's
It's like observe and report.
yeah, it's should have won an Oscar. So this is all about Arizona wildlife. So they give like portions of the sale to
Now,
the
what is
Arizona
this?
Fish and Game. Just a golden ale. It's gonna be
Okay.
it's gonna be a garbage beer. It's only 4.3%, so barely over the Cullen Harrison Act percentage. But I'm on a light beer kick lately because I'm trying to not kill myself. So this fits right into my shtick that I'm currently on.
Right. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's a winner.
Yeah, and Mother Road is the brewery that we don't ever talk about because they wouldn't sponsor us because our foul language would upset their grandmother.
Fucking redonkulous.
I thought we were fucking a bunch of adults. Not fucking a bunch. I thought we were a bunch of adults, but also works both ways.
That
like I
fuck
said.
a bunch of adults.
Sure. But not at Mother Road Brewing Company because they would be offended. But they weren't offended when you sang on video there last time we hung out in Flagstaff.
That's far more offensive than anything we say on this show.
Yes, that's true. I don't have anything planned tonight because I was just excited to talk to you. So if I can just sit here and stare at you if you want, or
It's good radio.
yeah, it's good radio. You got a haircut. You found time to get a haircut when you couldn't do the podcast for a month.
No, I mangled it myself with a pair of electric clippers. It's all weird back here. If I turn my head, it's gonna get strange.
Yeah, I never. I haven't been to the barber in like probably well over a year. So I normally do the sides and as much of the back as I can, and then I hand it over to my wife, and she kind of cleans it up for me. But last time I did it, she was sleeping, and I didn't want to wake her up, so I got like 2 mirrors out, like a full body mirror, and then like second mirror. I was trying to, yeah.
Yeah, I just take it all off at that point.
Well, the problem with looking at the back of your hair in a mirror is I finally got a gander at my balding spot in my hair, and now it's literally
Breaking news.
it's all I can think about now. I literally can't.
You don't
think
have
about
a bald spot.
It's going a little thin back here.
No.
So I'm doing the reverse comb over, like the long
I
top.
don't believe you.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't know what happened. I think it's COVID related. But yeah, so I'm trying to do the reverse comb over because I don't have a pretty bald head. I can't pull it off. There's like
No, I
like
just gotta
moles and
buzz it
shit.
down anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't go full bald. I've never gone full bald. But
No, I'll do like a number 2, and then I'll just buy a bunch of hats. I'll be the
number
hat
two.
guy now. You know,
Yeah.
maybe not hipster hats. Maybe I'll go more sports hats. I just ball caps.
Oh, not like the business Stetson or something, or Panama
No,
Jack hat.
no, no. Panama Jack hat's only for traveling, in my opinion.
Hmm.
You're a douchebag if you wear one and you're not traveling in a foreign.
Your aviator glasses.
Yeah, all that is for foreign travel. Also, you can't wear your Panama Jack if you're going to Austin,
Oh no.
unless you have a really good like German accent and you're playing like sex games or something.
Your Hawaiian shirt and your khaki shorts. And, yeah.
Yeah,
Your
your
boat shoes.
cargo shorts and Birkenstocks and a nice Hawaiian print shirt, Panama Jack hat. That's me in Costa Rica in 3 months, living my
Nice.
best life.
Pop the collar.
Yeah, I'll have like hard candies in the pockets of my cargo pants. Great. Just to hand out to neighborhood kids, let them know I'm friendly,
Yeah.
friendly foreigner.
You want this hard thing I got in my pants, kiddos?
Oh,
No extradition.
yeah. Yeah, I only travel internationally to non-extradition countries because you never know what's going to pop off, like what's going to happen.
Never know what the internet's going to find.
That's right, on my computer that I Googled at 3 a.m. Yeah, so nothing to talk about. We could bitch about
Awesome.
we could bitch about the movies we all hated that we haven't bitched about
Yeah, that's always a winning.
that everyone seemed to love, except I often think about it. Is it me? Am I the problem? Because people seem to love a lot of stuff.
I think 200 episodes in, we can say conclusively that yes, you are the problem.
Because like I see like comics that people enjoy reading, and I look at the art, and I'm like, oh, how could anyone enjoy reading that comic? The art is pure garbage. And then like these movies are insultingly bad, and then people are just talking about how great they are. I'm shocked that in 2021, all it takes for people to love a movie is to have a giant monkey fight a giant dinosaur. That's all you need.
And then they became buddies.
Yeah. It's like,
I think. I don't know. I don't remember what happened at the end.
oh, I think it's like a mutual admiration, like mutual respect.
For those not in the know, we're talking about. I don't remember which comes first. Is it Godzilla versus Kong? Kong versus Godzilla?
I think
Doesn't matter.
I think it's Godzilla versus Kong because
Okay. So the sequel's going to be Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes, because according to Wikipedia, it is the third entry in the rebooted Godzilla franchise.
Or maybe the sequel will take place on Skull Island and it'll be Godzilla at Kong.
But with the at symbol.
Right. It's a road game for Godzilla.
Yeah. And Kong is just pissed because he's like, don't at me, bro. And then they fight again. Yeah. So in after I watched that movie last week, we can get back to it. But after I watched it last week, I watched Skull Island and Godzilla again this week because I got to do something with my HBO Max.
2014 Godzilla, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. And
Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, the brother and sister duo that are banging.
Married.
They're banging in this one.
It's just like the comics.
So one note I wrote when I was watching Godzilla, it's essentially like a sequel, like an unofficial sequel to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, because Quicksilver at one point, it takes like a commercial flight, a military flight, a train, a helicopter. He's on a boat at one point. Like the whole movie is him just trying to get somewhere.
Yes, but he didn't have a traveling companion. Jack Black wasn't along for the ride, and by the end, they appreciate one another.
Well, I would say that his traveling companion was his sense of duty and his love for his family. But
Duty.
Yeah. So Godzilla versus Kong. So I couldn't bring myself to watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is a terrible title.
Oh, it's so bad.
Because I just remembered at one point Godzilla is dead, so he just sleeps in a den of like radioactive waste for like a while, and then he's cool again. Something like that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, like remember he dies, and then I think they blow up like something,
Oh,
and then
he
they
sank
bombard
or
him.
something, and then
They blow something up
yeah,
to
they
bombard him
sent a
with
nuke
radiation.
them down there or something. It wasn't he entered the ocean or some shit. I don't know. That whole movie was hot garbage.
It was like his radioactively hot
Remember
garbage.
in that movie where a young girl befriended a giant monster?
I do vaguely remember that. And
Yeah,
I remember in that movie when that giant monster had like an ancient home that they went to and found, and they're like,
yeah.
"Oh, he was revered as a god."
Ugh, just stop it.
Zilla. Why not just
Oh yeah, yes. The Bradley Whitford line. Oh my God, Zilla, just kill me.
my friend, and I would like to say friend of the show, but I don't know if he listens. Negative Steve used to do.
Dead to me.
Negative Steve occasionally does stand up, and when he was his first stand up set, he used to end it with, "Thanks everyone for coming out. I'm new to this," something like that. Like I just want to say thank you to all you, and most of all, thanks to God. And then he would start to walk away and just yell Zilla, like say, or under his breath, he would say Zilla on his way off the stage. It would kill. I saw him do it like 3 times. Killed,
Wow, killed.
killed. Yeah, like Godzilla.
Must be the same audience.
Yeah. Love you, Steve. Yeah. So my problem with these movies is that they take something that is ridiculous and try to constantly, constantly make it seem like it's plausible. Why not just be crazy? Kong Skull Island was nuts. Why not just keep that vibe?
They had elements of that in this movie. I liked the Hollow Earth thing because it's bananas. But you can't stop with that. You got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And Kong with his giant like Godzilla spine axe. You got to push the crazy. It's got to be over the top bonkers. Because as soon as you try to use like a reasonable sounding scientific explanation or uh, just some mundane excuse for what's happening, then you lose everything.
Right, but what's wrong with just Kong lives on an island that no one could get to because it's hard to get to.
Yeah, well, he was on an island. I don't know how they got to take him off the island because it starts with him like the movie I think opens with King Kong starring in the Truman Show
Mm-hmm.
with him in this giant dome thing. I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't know. Is that Skull Island? And they've just put.
yes,
Is that what happened to the Kingdom? They just
yeah,
dropped it on top of
uh-huh,
Skull Island, and now he just walks around in there.
yeah. The
How long was that going on? Because he seemed to figure it out pretty quickly.
yeah the people from Monarch, which I don't even think they use the term Monarch anymore, which was one of my favorite parts of the when this series started out. But anyways, they took the Kingdom and just put it on because they had seen like Hunger Games and they're like, oh, this is what you do. You put him in like a cage, but they don't know it's a cage,
Right.
just like Katniss.
Yeah, he goes full Katniss.
Yeah.
And, throws the thing at the
Exactly.
holographic
It's exactly.
ceiling.
He goes full Katniss. Exactly. So then they're like, well, we can't keep him here, so let's put him on 5 aircraft carriers, or I guess just one, because why not? Why not have some rando scientist guy be like, oh yeah, this thing that we talked about is totally true. I just need a spaceship that can get me there. And then Hispanic Elon Musk comes in and he's like, I got those.
Yeah, this feels like a far cry from Godzilla from the first movie where they used like machine guns and fighter jets and shit. Now they're flying around in anti-grav spaceships and
Yeah.
going inside of the earth and yeah. So I don't know where all this stuff came from. And on top of that, living in a world with these giant monsters, how is anything normal? How does anybody just get up in the morning and stop at Starbucks and go to their office job?
Because the Grande there's a new larger size of Starbucks and it's called the Zilla and it's 60 ounces of coffee.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
That's
That
good.
that's what happens in the world, you know. And then maybe there's a Kong, and maybe you can. Do you want that Konged or Godzilla? I don't
Like,
know.
what the fuck is happening to insurance premiums? I mean,
Yeah,
how does anybody afford anything?
yeah, I don't know. Like, they tackled that kind of subject pretty well in Pacific Rim, where they talked about like walls or
And that's
cities are
what you
walled
have to
off.
do.
Cities are walled off. You're going to need a passport to do anything. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, because after 2014 Godzilla, how anybody still just wakes up on Saturday morning and goes to Target is just like, what? Where? Your entire worldview changes because you're not, you're still a human, but humanity is not the same thing anymore.
yeah. I
Now
don't.
you're an ant.
Yeah, and the way the humans, like humans, I mean the ones that don't get killed when their buildings collapse. The way they at the end of Godzilla 2014, Godzilla, like, has to take a nap because he's tired after beating the Mothras,
Yeah.
uh, the mom and daddy Mothras. He's pretty tired, takes a little nap, wakes up, and then just as he walks back into the ocean, he's just crushing more shit on his way out of town, and everyone's cheering because he saved them.
Yay!
Like, dude, someone's brand new Subaru just got fucking
We
totaled.
love Superman and we love Godzilla.
I mean, some poor bastard saved up his whole life to open like a kiosk that sells those shoelaces you put in that you don't have to tie. You just stretch them and you put them on. And he's like saved up his whole life to get a little kiosk in the mall. And this is all he's ever wanted in life. And he got spared in the big battle. He's like sitting there like, thank God. My stretchy shoelace place got spared. Everything else around me got destroyed, but not me. And then on his way out of town, Godzilla just clips it with a left pinky toe and it's fucking totaled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's
His
that?
toe took out an entire suburb. An
Yeah,
entire town has been wiped off the
where's
map.
that HBO Max extended TV series, like the maxi series of like shit that Godzilla's left toe took out, and they got to rebuild now, and the trauma of rebuilding.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I didn't actually watch Godzilla versus Kong. I listened to it while I worked. And then when there was more grunting and yelling than normal, I would look over to see what was happening. So I'm sure I missed some pretty cool visuals.
Uh,
But there's no way that there's no way that can compensate for the rest of the movie where every human is terrible.
yeah. It- that, like we talked about today, if you're going to cast these cookie cutter cardboard parts, then you need to put somebody that's worth listening to in those roles.
Yeah, like Bryan Cranston or Riley in Kong. What's his first name?
Riley.
It's not William C. Riley. It's
Oh, John C. Riley.
John C. Riley.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And let him ad lib or just improv or something, because none of the dialogue fucking matters.
Yeah, they're basically just explaining shit that we just saw with our own eyes, or they're telling you something that they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know that. Like I watched that Honest Trailers version of this on YouTube, and they basically said like people are just telling you things that there's no way they would know. Like Millie Bobby Brown just says, "Oh, this must be a thing to get us here," and like, how would you know that? You could be the smartest 15-year-old on the planet, but how the fuck are you like a neuroscientist or some bullshit?
Yeah. Her and the kid from Deadpool and
The dude from he's in Atlanta, but he was also in something else more recently.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was straight out of a Roland Emmerich movie.
yeah, he's the
Everything out of his mouth had to be comic relief.
Yeah, he's the Big Lebowski character in this, like the so eccentric that he's that at one point he says something that's totally true, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's a genius." I don't know why I did that with my hands, but but yeah, like why not just? There's a concept, and I'm sure the concept starts out, which should start out with, let's get these two monsters to fight and destroy a bunch of shit. Then how can you go so wrong from that basic concept to be like, let's over explain everything? Just make them,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
make them fight because they're the two biggest things on the planet, and that's what they would do.
Right. So, okay. So they were Truman showing Kong at the beginning because they knew Godzilla would come find him,
I think
and they were
so.
protecting him for some reason.
I think they
I don't
said.
understand what's happening.
I think they said they had to.
Who fucking cares?
I think they made a comment in Skull Island a couple times that he was still growing. So I think there was a comment at some place like he's not big enough to protect himself against Godzilla yet. So, but then he got too big for his enclosure because some dipshit, when they built the kingdom there, they didn't think he was going to keep growing. They thought, oh, we'll just. It's like the interstates and the freeways in Arizona. They build them 2 lanes when it should be 4 lanes, and then they constantly are
They're always under
fixing them.
construction.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's no forethought.
Well, I mean, also, when it's 80 stories tall, my first thought would not be, oh, I wonder if it's still growing.
Well, all you have to do is measure him one day and then measure him in a week.
Yeah, I guess so. Kong's a grower, not a shower.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to give him the tape measure and be like, hey, man, step on the bottom of the tape measure, the little lip, step on it, and then hold it up to your head. Because otherwise, we got to get a helicopter in here to do it. Yeah, that's right. Feet flat. Yeah, so I mean, I guess I was fine with that. Kong's too big. They want to find Hollow Earth to get Kong to Hollow Earth. So I will admit that
For some reason, I don't know what's happening.
the scene on all the ships and shit, that was kind of neat because that's real world military shit that I can get behind. That movie lost me 1,000% when blue the Fantastic cars started showing up with blue fucking glowing energy. I'm so sick of glowing energy in movies because it's just random. It's supposed to mean everything. Oh, by the way, the Coyotes just blew a fucking 2-goal lead, so take off my scarf. Yeah, I'm just tired of like in every blockbuster, there's just energy flowing
Blue
all the
lasers
time.
into the sky.
All the time. It drives me nuts. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, I not have the blue lasers in a Godzilla movie. Right? He's Godzilla. That's what he fucking does. But wasn't it established? I thought in that first Godzilla movie that he was a million fucking feet tall.
I think he was only like 100 feet tall in that first Godzilla movie.
I thought he was fucking giant, like skyscraper big. And Kong's nowhere near that. I feel like they're playing fast and loose with the
Sorry,
the size of things.
I wasn't listening to you. I thought we were talking about Kong. Yes, I think that's why they made the point in this movie to be like, oh, he's grown so much. Because he was. Yeah, because I mean, in the first movie, he picks up like a helicopter and it's like the whole size of his hand. And by the second movie, he's as tall as Godzilla.
No. Yeah, I too was working. I was only half paying attention. I don't know how he got to be on the ship. I don't know why he was on the ship. I don't know why Robo Godzilla was there. Yeah, I'm not going to correct myself. I don't know why Robo Godzilla was there.
So Cyborgzilla was there because the Hispanic Elon Musk, who was wonderful in the TV show The Bridge, for anyone who hasn't seen it, he wanted a Godzilla that he could control. So he built a Godzilla using the skull of a.
Why did he want a Godzilla he can control? Because he's a billionaire asshole?
He's a billionaire asshole, and he wants to control the world's apex predator. I think that's a line he used. So that's what happened. And
I do like that the decapitated. What is it? Deirdre What's the dragon thing from the last movie?
Get
Three-headed dragon.
Ghidorah or Ghidra? I don't know.
Ghidorah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm not a fucking nerd, so I don't know how to pronounce it.
It possessed robot Godzilla. That was bonkers. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but as that honest trailer
But how would a giant monster know how to work servos and circuit boards and do anything? How could it move at all?
Right. And also what honest trailers pointed out was it wasn't the brain of the creature, it was the skull of the creature.
It was its spirit. It was the soul that lives in the skull.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Like, why even have that? Why not? Hear me for a second, people who made the fucking movie. Why not just have it be a robot, a regular robot that's controlled like a drone, and then have the Elon Musk character get so mad that he just starts controlling it to fight the other two monsters? Because that's too easy and makes too much sense.
No, I ship Robo Godzilla and Ghidorah, Gal
Ghidorah.
Gal Ghidorah possessing robot Godzilla. I give that my stamp of approval. That is bonkers enough for this movie.
I read today that the director, who I've never heard of before, was saying that the reason that Mechagodzilla looks exactly like Godzilla but like a robot is because he saw Transformers 3 and said all the Transformers look like shit because you couldn't tell what they were. So he wanted his mech to look like what it was supposed to be. So it's supposed to look as shitty as it looked. Is basically what he was saying. But he didn't use the word shitty. He used the word good. But it looked clumsy as shit to me.
It looked svelte. It did not look like something that could go toe to toe with Godzilla.
Or Kong. It went toe to toe with both of them. So I guess that's American muscle for you, right? American engineering.
Was he American?
Well, I mean, I don't know if Mechagodzilla has a nationality that he adopts.
The billionaire guy. I don't know what his nationality was. Didn't he have an accent?
Yeah, but Americans can have accents, Scott. It's 2021.
But they were building it in Hong Kong.
Take the flag off your truck. Get into the future. Yeah, they were building it in Hong Kong because all these movies have to have a Chinese component to them so that they can make money in China. So that's why.
Unless it's a supernatural movie, like Ghostbusters or The Conjuring or something, because their communist government thinks it's witchcraft.
Yeah, because they believe in ghosts over there, and they don't want to see it on their screen.
Right.
Yeah, so I was
Zack Baggins is not big in China.
Oh, he's the dude. He's the aliens guy, right? I don't know who the fuck Zack Baggins is.
He's the Ghost Adventures guy. Ghost Bros.
You need to use your DC clout and just send him an email and be like, "Hey, I'm the artist on Superman. Would you like to be on my podcast to talk about Ghost Adventures?" Because as I'm drawing the Man of Steel, I watch Ghost Adventures nonstop. He'll probably be like, "I love Superman."
Yeah, that'd be it. Did you know he wears glasses because he got haunted so hard, his vision got fucked up?
Wow, that can happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I tweet not so nice things at him. I don't think he's coming on the show.
His real name is Zack Baggins,
Zack Baggins
of like Bag End, like he's related
it's
to a hobbit.
Spelled differently, but
he's about as dumb as a fucking hobbit.
No. Hobbits are respectable.
You were talking shit about those hobbitses all the other week when you were watching them on your HBO Max subscription.
Oh, like the Hobbit movies are terrible.
Oh, but you're a
No,
fan of the literary interpretation of hobbits.
I would love to be a hobbit.
You love the singing, the hairy feet, smoking the pipes,
Right. Just sitting around drinking and eating and yeah.
talking
I
about
could do that.
adventures. Yeah.
That's a life that is appealing to me.
Yeah, my feet, for some reason, this past weekend, and when I say for some reason, because I drank a ton of fucking beer and I was out in the sun all day, my feet swole up that night, and I had to like, I thought, oh shit, here comes the gout. Like, here comes the gout, because all I ate today was meat and beer and too much sun. So my feet swole up, and my brother-in-law said my feet look like a hobbit's feet because they were just swollen and puffy and small.
Harry.
Not hairy, sadly.
Oh, they're not hobbit feet.
I know. I know. So yeah, that movie sucked. Um, I find it like, so between this movie, there's a direct correlation between the people that I'm seeing that loved this movie and loved the Snyder version, the 4 hour version of Justice League. Same people are tweeting about them, and it makes me question, like, everything that this person has ever tweeted. Can I trust any of it? Do I really like? Because you follow someone on Twitter for years and you have interactions with them, you think you know somebody. And then if you think you know somebody and then they're like, oh, Zack Snyder's Justice League was a masterpiece, then do you really know that person? I mean, has their wife, has their spouse been kidnapped and they have to like tweet good things about this movie?
I saw a YouTube video with that title, that the Snyder Cut is a masterpiece. I might click on that. I might entertain that conversation, because you're going to have to define masterpiece for me. Like,
right. What's your bar that you're
well,
you're going for?
Also, like, personally, right? I guess for an artist, I guess I would call the pinnacle or the zenith of their output their own personal masterpiece. And so, using that definition, is this the best that I think he's capable of doing? Maybe. I wouldn't call it good. I mean, I didn't enjoy it, but it's not my thing. As far as him doing what he wanted to do, like, the percentage of his vision that made it through to
100%.
the final cut. Yeah, I think it's pretty high. So this is his deal, and it might be the best thing he's ever done. The list is not great. When you've got Batman versus Superman and Sucker Punch on your resume, this probably floats to the top.
I would rather watch The Watchmen and Sucker Punch on repeat.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Than watch this.
Sucker Punch is one of the worst things ever committed to film.
Maybe I need to rewatch it. It's got Carla Gugliani in it. It can't be that bad.
Yeah, it's got Carla Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, wait. Let me take a sidebar here for a second since you brought up Goo Goo Dolls. At one point, my brother-in-law, who is on his way or sleeping right now, he's flying back to Dubai. Years ago, told me that Goo Goo Dolls was good rock and roll music, and that they're just as good as the Pixies, who are my favorite band of all time. And
I thought they were good in 1998.
The fact that he called them rock and roll music and that they're good. Sometimes me and my wife will just be sitting there.
Is he like 65?
Sometimes my wife and I'll just be sitting there randomly just doing whatever. And she'll just turn to me and she'll be like, remember when my brother said that the Goo Goo Dolls were a good band?
It popped into my head just now because I had been watching Billy on the Street, and he had interviewed some guy who said that his favorite band was the Goo Goo Dolls.
That guy should be on a watch list. Like, he immediately confiscate all of his computers. But yeah, so anyways, maybe I need to rewatch Sucker Punch.
Oh,
Uh,
don't don't do it.
the Watchmen is fine, but I think all of these he's I guess I'm the Zack Snyder of my comic book making. I do the same thing every time, and so does he.
It's so I think his particular filmmaking style has the same problem as something like Fox News, where the way he chooses to present stuff immediately casts the subject material in a specific light. Um, and his whole aesthetic is about glorifying the moment and raising the subject, whatever is on frame, whoever is on frame, up to this like exalted status, this thing that should be revered and
Right.
almost worshipped. And that was totally not the point of anything in Watchmen. And so him as a filmmaker tackling that material specifically, just him doing it betrays the point of the entire story.
Well, I think I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I don't. To me, Watchmen isn't a revered piece of comic book making history for me. I think it's fine, but
Yeah, it's fine. It's not my favorite thing.
I've never quite understood why it achieved such a pinnacle point in our industry.
Um, I'm sure at the time it was a thing. It was the thing. It's the same problem like we talk about all the time. Like I can sit my 13-year-old down to watch The Matrix, and it's not going to blow him away like it blew me away, because he's seen everything that's come since then that was inspired by it.
Right, or like Jurassic Park, you could only see that for the first time once and
Right,
it had to be like in 1993 or whatever. It couldn't be
right,
now, right?
yeah. Like people reading Watchmen in the moment in '86, and like us with those movies, we were there to witness the ground being broken, and now all your subsequent from there, all your viewing is the ground already broken. You're not seeing it happen.
All right, but yeah, so I guess that's why Watchmen the movie doesn't bother me because I don't hold the comic in any higher regard than like the first 12 issues of the Authority. You know, like I'm gonna get
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
know. It's him as a filmmaker that is the problem, and the way he chooses to do things, because he's only got one gear. He can only do things one way. And so it's the same problem with Sucker Punch. Like he took this thing about this girl in this insane asylum that's going to get a lobotomy because she refuses to get raped all the time, and he turns it into this weird video game action movie sort of thing, and it's just gross. I'm sure his intentions were good, because he seems like a really nice, like honest simpleton, but it so I'm sure he didn't know like
hey,
what he was doing.
hey man, she's just dealing with her trauma, bro. Don't
He just doesn't know. He doesn't get it. He does this one thing, and he thinks it's cool, and he thinks it's fun, and he thinks everybody else should think it's cool and fun too. But it, yeah, it's yeah. It's like your grandma who you love just throwing out the N word once in a while, just because that's how she was raised. She doesn't mean anything by it, but
no, I mean that's just a term she uses.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I almost you just something you said just made me think of the correlation. It's like the you remember how when Image happened, people that were like 10 and 15 years older than us hated it, but we loved it. It's that. It's style over substance. And so people love these movies because it's style over substance.
Yeah, and as bad as Sucker Punch was, I think he should be doing more of that. outside of that, all of his shit has been remakes or adaptations of other things. So if he were doing his own original stuff where he, he got to decide uh, sort of what the material was about. He got to decide what the themes were and all of this stuff rather than having to take something that already existed and sort of try to twist it into a pretzel to get it to be Zack Snydery.
Right.
Then I think he would be better off. I think his movies would be more well received and generally more tolerable.
Yeah, he has a Netflix movie coming out that's like it's a zombie movie, but it's like a group of like ex-military people that are like stealing something. So it's like a heist movie with military aspects set in like a zombie world, and it's got like Dave Bautista in it, a bunch of people in it. I'm kind of interested in that.
I can't give a shit. I again, I, I don't, I don't dislike him. I dislike him very much as a filmmaker, but as a guy, he seems like a totally chill and reasonable and just a really nice dude. Um, but when he gets behind a camera, he just can't fucking help himself. Everything is just the most pretentious, most self-important thing in the world. The dialogue in these movies is just I I probably not joking 50% of the lines in Justice League. You just go, "What?"
Yeah.
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, I knew I was in trouble because I knew there's going to be a lot of slow mo. But when you slow mo Lois Lane walking in the rain, I was like, holy shit, this movie is going to be unbearable. And so you slow
Yeah,
mo,
let's give that guy the Flash.
yeah, you slow mo Lois Lane walking in the rain, but then you jump up, jump cut, and speed up Wonder Woman because you have to show that she's fast. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
make
every
sense.
scene's like a Collective Soul music video.
Oh shit! And also, if you're gonna take the movie and the Flash was terrible in the Whedon version, and you're just gonna triple down on the terribleness. I mean, he dance runs, he does like weird shit. Like you always say, his lightning is blue for some reason. Like,
Yeah, how hard is it?
but like just I said this on Twitter and I stand by it. In any movie, cartoon, TV, whatever, you should never see the Flash running. It should just be a blur. It always looks dumb.
I reject all of your Flash criticism.
It's fucking oh, so you like the Flash in Justice League?
I generally like the Flash. I'm not a Barry Allen guy. I never read any Barry Allen. I don't know if Barry Allen's like a jokester guy. He's like a what? He's a forensic criminal investigator guy or some shit.
Right.
It doesn't. The profession doesn't scream wit to me. So, he just seems like just like a blank slate. Like I was always a Wally guy. Wally was fun. So, give me Wally. Just do Wally.
I'm already bored of this conversation. I don't understand the appeal of the
Hashtag
Flash.
free Wally.
He just runs fast.
Yeah, but that's coming with speed comes a bunch of other things, sciency. The vacuum and carrying things and electrical charge and heat and the time travel and all that shit. Whatever. It's like flying. You can do other things with flying.
Carry things, fly fast, fly slow.
Anyway, as long as we're shitting on Justice League and the Lois Lane scenes, can you explain to me Martian Manhunter being Soups's mommy? Has he always been? Where is Martha?
Hashtag where's Martha? Yeah,
Why,
what a
why did this alien guy feel the need to give Lois Lane a pep talk about her life?
but also how did he know, unless he's just been creeping on everybody, how does he know who the fuck Martha is or
Well,
Lois's
he's also a
relationship?
telepath, right?
Oh, I guess so. He's also terrible
Creeper.
CGI and looks like garbage.
Yeah, I could hear while I was listening. I could hear the entire country go, "What?
I mean,
Who's this?"
the CGI on the Supergirl TV show has a better Martian Manhunter than that guy.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
And
You don't get it.
also if Batman is my Batman, as soon as Martian Manhunter flew down to his cute little cottage, Bruce should know who he is because Bruce should have files on every single. Wasn't that in the Whedon version? Wasn't there a folder on Bruce's computer that had the Martian Manhunter
Oh, I don't
logo?
know. I remember in BVS where
Oh, maybe it was in BVS.
they steal the Luthor files, and
Yes,
Luthor had made up logos for all the different superheroes.
right. Conveniently, the same one they use in the movie and stuff.
Great.
Like, yeah,
It's great. It's great.
yeah. So my Bruce Wayne, I would say, my Bruce Wayne would know who Martian Manhunter was already. That wouldn't have been a surprise. Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. I'm not going to watch it again. Um, was there anything you liked about it? Maybe we should try to be positive. What did we like about what did we like about Godzilla versus Kong? Other than your boner for Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, what did I like about Godzilla versus Kong?
I liked. I'll go first. I liked the fight scene on the boats, on the aircraft carriers.
Okay, it it exceeded my expectations in the ridiculous department.
Because he had a glowing axe.
Yeah, and with the Hollow Earth stuff, like I said, and but that was it. They stopped there. That was all they needed to. Every scene in that movie needed to be crazier than the last, and they didn't do it. They didn't push it far enough.
Yeah. Right.
No.
All right. What about ZSJL?
I thought it was I'm still struggling to find the word because better ain't it. It was
at least a story.
But I guess I have to use the word because I can't find the other one. It was better than the theatrical version in that the tone was more consistent. It wasn't as slit your wrists in a bathtub bleak as the previous two movies. Yeah, but I would still never watch it again. Even if it was 2 hours, I would never watch it again.
Yeah, I'm still a fan, and I wish there was someone else tackling these movies. I'm still a fan of the Ben Affleck old Bruce Wayne, not necessarily Ben Affleck Batman, but Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne. I'm obviously a fan of Gal Gadot because I'm a red-blooded American man, and I'm a fan of for the same reason I'm a fan of Aquaman. It's sexy. But I like this version of Aquaman. Aquaman is a nothing character in the comics. He's absolutely nothing.
Sure.
So the fact that they do something different with him here, I like. So Cavill's fine. I don't give a fuck about Superman though. Cyborg was better in this, but I still think
much better.
But I still think he looks stupid. Like
Yes.
the Cyborg looks dumb. Like he looks better
He does look dumb.
when he has his hoodie on and stuff. Then he looks cool. But when he just like his skinny little robot arms are dumb.
Yeah, he looks like some Terminator thing that they shoot in any scene of any recent Terminator movie.
Right. Yeah. So it's like I really enjoy the cast, except for the Flash.
Yeah, Ezra Miller stinks.
He's problematic. So I guess that's really it. Is I enjoy the cast. I wish I could see this cast in these roles in a different movie.
Uh, but I think they're on the right track with the do things that people like, and if they like them, you keep doing them. Things that they're doing with the DC movies. So if they don't like that Batman movie, all right, fuck it. Then we'll try another Batman movie with another actor and another
I do.
director. Just do whatever you think is the best thing to do.
Yeah, I do think that's my that's the one positive, the main positive of the DCEU is that they're like, we've already established the multiverse, so let's just have every fucking Batman in a movie, and let's just have a new Batman movie. Like, let's have different Batman movies with different Batmans. It's like comics. One.
Yeah,
You got your Norm Brayfogle Batman, you got your Kelly Jones Batman.
yeah. You're not going to top Marvel. What they're doing is it's lightning in a bottle, and everybody's trying to do it, and nobody can. So just go do whatever. Darren Aronofsky comes to you for, like a vampire Batman movie. Oh, that sounds cool. We think we can sell that. Boom, do it. It's just
Yeah.
you have the brands. Everybody recognizes Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman. Do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to explain anything.
Yeah, imagine if you gave like Simon Pegg a Batman 66 style movie to do, like just a campy fucking Batman movie. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I don't need more dark and gritty DCEU movies though. It makes sense if it's Batman, especially like a year one Batman. I'm into that. But I don't need to see like a snarling Superman every 2 seconds and like.
No, give me a Edgar Wright Lobo movie or something.
Yeah. And I saw it on Twitter, and it rang true with me because I don't want to make it sound like this is my original thought, but I hated the epilogue to ZSJL because it implies that the most powerful creature, the most powerful being in the universe, becomes a rage-filled maniac when his love of his life dies. Like, he just can't handle grief, so he's going to destroy the planet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not Superman-y at all.
No, and then you have like Batman back in his duster outfit because that makes total sense. Like telling, doesn't he say something to Joker like "I'm gonna fuck you to death" or something? He says something like that.
Oh,
like,
Joker's gonna give him a reach around.
Yeah,
yeah. That was speaking of reach around. That was a Snyder Circle jerk. It was just 4 Snyders in a room.
Yeah,
just tugging on each other. That's all that scene was.
It's so terrible. I mean, just I said it before.
I don't know. It was dumb.
I said it before. I think these movies are like this because they made that video game that's like this, Injustice, where it's like dark and violent and all that. And that's what those people. That's what these fine humans want to see in their DC movies. Yeah, on both sides of the fence. It's what they, flags on their trucks or no flags on their trucks. They want to see a violent Batman and they want to, like, the reason the Joker movie is so popular. They want to see bad people do things they want to do. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't.
I understand.
I find it offensive.
Something different because we've had
right.
You had the Donner Superman movies. You had the Tim Burton Batman movies. I understand not wanting to be fed the same thing every 4 or 5 years. But I'll point to the new Superman show as an example of doing something different without betraying the thing that makes the character special to begin with. So if you throw out everything that makes Superman Superman and why he's, the second most recognized brand in the world behind Coca-Cola, then you're automatically putting yourself behind the eight ball with your project.
Yeah, I mean, like in the MCU, half the universe died, and Thor just got fat and drank and got sad. You know, like that. Just like that. That's my Thor.
Yeah, to think that Superman not only would stop helping people, but actively hurt people because of anything
Right.
is unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. All right, we've reached our allotted time. Um,
Yeah. Anyway, in summary and conclusion, Godzilla versus Kong is greater than Snyder Cut. If I were to subject my eyeballs
right.
to either one of them again, it would be the former.
Okay. In closing, have you watched either Falcon and Winter Soldier or Invincible?
I started Invincible. I don't know that I got through the first episode. They seem really long. How long are they?
They're like 45 minutes.
That's long.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like I have watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I get annoyed at how long those episodes are, and they're 28 minutes, something like that. I don't know.
No, they're like an hour. They're like 50.
Are you kidding me?
Minutes? No.
Oh, too much. Neither one of them is doing anything for me at the moment. I haven't read Invincible, so I don't know where it's going. So I guess that's a positive for me watching the show. I'll be surprised. I'm just bored by the young superhero coming into his powers story. You've just seen it 1,000 times. I'm waiting for the twist where it gets good, and it hasn't gotten there yet. I don't know. I have the patience to get there. And Falcon and Winter Soldier is doing nothing for me at all.
I love it.
Nothing.
I love it.
I don't think that their relationship is interesting enough. In 3 episodes, it has not reached the heights of them both laying on the floor in the airport in Civil War. And Bucky, saying you couldn't have started with that or whatever when Red Wing flew off the Spider-Man, Falcon saying I hate you. It has not reached the height of those 2 lines. And the story isn't doing anything. I don't buy that they called Zemo one of the most dangerous men in the world. Has he shown this? Where is this coming from?
I don't know. I like it, but I like so Winter Soldier is probably one of my favorite MCU movies. So I like Winter Soldier.
I don't think it's working with them together, and the story, the plot is not working for me. If it were a solo Winter Soldier series with him sort of hashing out his past and talking with, I love all the stuff with the therapist, him and the therapist alone. I think that's interesting. Something like that I would be on board with. But this weird sort of jet setting, ground level mystery stuff is not pushing my buttons. It's not tickling my fancy.
Well, maybe next week you'll have something to recommend, something positive.
I did get through 4 seasons of Billy on the Street, so I'd highly recommend Billy Eichner. He's a funny dude.
I didn't know that had seasons. I thought it was just part of like like the Tonight Show.
Yeah, like 2 through 5 are on Netflix. So go watch him. He's very funny.
I don't like those kind of shows though. They make me feel uncomfortable.
Oh, sure. Yes, they are. It's in the vein of something like Ricky Gervais, sort of. Yeah, it doesn't quite get to that level of. Gervais is the master of cringe humor, and it's right there on the cusp. But he's great. I think he's very funny.
Yeah, I don't like
the size of the shows work. They're like 20 minutes long, just because he's so high energy, and his shtick burns out real fast, you'll get exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of being reminded how dumb people are. So that's why I don't like that kind of stuff.
No, watching it, I found the wealth of pop culture information in his head is very impressive. So if you're a fan of references to things, you'll like that too.
Well, I am not apparently. So, all right. How was your? Did it grow on you, or is it just like every other New Belgium IPA?
Yeah, I'm a dum dum. This is just like the rest.
Yeah.
So I think I've given the rest of them a 3. I'm probably gonna have to go the same here, or a 3.5. Whatever I gave every other one, I would give this one.
Yeah, but to be fair, you keep going back to it. That's multiple times you've bought 12 packs of
Yeah, I
New
don't
Belgium
know.
IPAs.
Yeah, I was thinking today though, or not today, recently, that I'm probably done with IPAs for a while. I think I'll kill this 12 pack, and then I'll have to go fishing for something else. Maybe I'll give golden ales or kolsches or wheat beers another spin. Yeah, stouts I'm kind of done with. Porters, stouts. It's getting a little too warm anyhow.
Well, maybe since you enjoy it more than I do, maybe you should go to Total Wine and pick up some airplane shooters of different like bourbons and whiskeys and do a run of that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've got this homebrew kit lying around somewhere here in the garage, and it's a golden ale.
Ah,
So maybe I should acclimate my palate so I'm not super disappointed in the first thing.
well, speaking of golden ales, the Conserve and Protect Golden Ale from Mother Road Brewing Company
Observe and report.
was was perfectly fine. I mean, if you really want to support the Arizona Game and Fish Department, then go buy some of these.
I love Arizona Game and Fish.
If you just want the flavor, then go buy yourself some PBR or some Budweiser, and save a couple dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the rub, right? Like I'm trying to drink more light beers because I don't
Yeah,
like
you can
how
feel good about yourself too.
yeah, and I don't like feeling like bloated and heavy after like a Deepa or a Tripa. But the problem is, why am I gonna? If this tastes like Budweiser, why am I spending 3 times the same amount of money? Like these should be. If a brewery makes something that tastes like Budweiser, it should cost what a Budweiser Tallboy costs. Otherwise, what's the point?
Because of where the money's going.
Well, even if this wasn't going to a charity, they would still charge $6 a pint for this at their brewery, $7 a pint. Let's get back on the $3 hams, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, anyways, that's fine. I'll give it a 3. I don't give a shit. It's fine. I do like the drawing of the old Bronco on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's an International Harvester or Scout, but I want to say it's a Bronco.
Yes. Well, maybe not.
That grill's not a Ford grill, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really wants to associate themselves with Bronco.
Right. They say that
Soon.
it pairs with fresh air, good company, and wildlife watching. So
It pairs with wildlife watching.
yeah. So you really get the notes when you're looking at the
Right.
when you're looking at the antelopes.
Yeah.
Like I can really pick out the barley.
Oh, the hummingbird is really bringing out
Yeah.
the
I wasn't sure about the
grains.
wasn't sure about the quality of barley in this, but then I saw that red coyote or maybe a Mexican gray wolf, and now all of a sudden it's delicious. All right, man. For the first time in a month, send us out of here properly.
Yeah. Remember, everybody, fuck yourselves. Fuck us. It's been good to be back.
It's good for you to be back.
Fuck everything.
Word.